To watch the 2016 DVC Vikings women's soccer team was to see a perfect recipe come together. A team built on the foundation of some of the best parts of the 2015 club, a few bounce backs bringing experience from four-year programs, a group of talented freshmen that were ready to take on big roles from the very start, and a group of role players that helped establish a team culture of joy and support, but also accountability and fierce competition. They got off to a screaming start to the season, winning all 5 non-conference games by a combined score of 16-2 and wowing the crowd with some highlight reel goals.
Left wing for Ramos. Carla working her way down toward the corner flag. She has arrived at the byline. Ramos crossed in. Valera! Goal!
The team had almost all the pieces needed for a successful season, save for a classic center forward with a nose for goal. Just as the season had gotten underway, though, they found her in a surprising place: the coaching staff.
Walking off the field, and Alex says, this team would be really fantastic if we just had a number 9. and
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Walking with us, and she's like, well, I have eligibility, and all our heads just like,
Definitely that moment. I think we had all the pieces of the puzzle, right? The team looked in a 4-3-3. Every position was solid, but we didn't really have an out-and-out number 9. It was just a perfect addition to that particular team, wasn't it, really? I think if you can add 20-odd goals to any team, you're going to be doing okay.
With the last stone placed in their infinity gauntlet, they snapped on perennial league champion Santa Rosa on the first day of conference play to send shockwaves through the Big 8.
In swinger, coming in toward Ramos, still alive inside the 18, fire, goal!
It was the first of 12 goals Noelle Lemus-Palmer would score inside the Big 8 to lead the Vikings through a harrowing league that would provide nearly half of the NorCal playoff field come November, including the top 4 seeds. First half highlights included a rare victory over Sierra College, spurred by a pair of Vanessa Rubalcaba missiles.
Rubalcaba dribbling to the center, Rubalcaba! Go, go, go!
And an all-hands-on-deck 2-2 draw against Delta in Stockton.
Still alive in front, goal! To assist this season, both of them off corners like this. This ball drifting into the 18-yard box. Arriving! Goal!
The second half of the league schedule was almost unbearably tense, as following a road loss to Santa Rosa, 5 of the Vikings' last 7 games ended either 0-0, 1-1, or 1-0 DVC. Those 2 victories keyed first by an unlikely scoring source.
Ahead of Jess Jaime. Jessica might have thought about a shot for a moment. Now she is going to take one. Fires! Goal! Go, 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 go.
And a moment of late brilliance in the 93rd minute of a stalemate against Casumnas River.
Blocked by Otley. Puts it into the center for Malera, who's got a little more space. Megan over the top, looking for the chest of Linus. Noelle! Carla! Goal!
They would need every single point they could muster as the conference title race came down to the final match of the season between Santa Rosa and American River. On a cold November night in the capital, ARC held the Bear Cubs to a scoreless draw, and DVC earned the program's first ever Big 8 title with a 9-1-6 conference record and an astonishing level of consistency and poise.
you know, they were just going about their business every game and playing as hard as they could, and I think that's what stands out the most to me. I don't think there was necessarily particular moments, but just kind of that general feeling of just being really focused and really kind of calm still, and just kind of going about work. We weren't thinking too far ahead. We weren't projecting about being conference champions, really. You know, we were just kind of being in the moment. And I think that's, you know, pretty consistently what successful players and teams do.
Launched into the playoffs with their confidence buoyed by the Big 8 title and a number 1 seed, the Vikings demolished local rivals Solano and Las Positas behind 5 total goals from eventual tournament Golden Boot winner Noelle Lemus-Palmer.
Rubalcaba stealing a ball away from Ashley Carlton, spinning to her left, now firing from distance! Off the crossbar, now Lemus!
The other 5 tallies came courtesy of super sub Ale Gonzalez, as well as all 3 members of that freshman starting midfield of Vanessa Rubalcaba, Megan Malera, and Chloe Lindemann.
Chloe, wind up! Goal!
A bigger challenge awaited in the regional final, though, as the Vikings would take on conference foes San Joaquin Delta on Thanksgiving weekend, a team they had drawn with twice in the regular season, and coincidentally the last road team that had won at Vikings Field, albeit 2 years earlier. But even a big holiday wasn't going to distract this team from its objectives.
I was so worried that, you know, everybody's going to say, I can't be at training, and, you know, we've got a game on Saturday, and Everybody was there. It was probably our best training session of the year. Everybody was happy. We had fun. It's like, okay, you know, we had a fun training session. It's like, okay, now we're all going home to our families, and this is our family in the morning, and then you're going to go to your family in the afternoon. And it was like, those were the moments that were just so fun with this.
2 days later, the Mustangs and Vikings waged their battle, and it was exactly the kind of slugfest we'd come to expect from these two programs. After over an hour of sturdy defense, bruisingly physical midfield play, and a handful of close calls at an opener, the breakthrough finally came in minute number 79.
Forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes down. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! Lemus! Goal! 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 Noelle! Noelle! Noelle Lemus!
A quarter of an hour later, DVC's first trip to a state Final Four was a reality.
He won't take the free kick! The Vikings are going to Ventura!
And in Ventura, they would take down the tournament's Cinderella story, Santa Barbara City College, behind second-half goals from Cameron Chan.
18 from the left side. Here comes a cross in. Chan! Goal! Goal!
And Carla Ramos.
Ball claimed by Chloe Montano. Up comes Ramos, and she ends up firing it. Takes it away from a defender. Carla! Goal!
That magical night in SoCal, the Vikings earned one of the crowning victories in their program's history and an appearance in the state championship game against the four-time defending champions from Cerritos College.
Is a DVC victory.
On the big stage, the Vikings' vaunted defense kept the Falcons off the board for the full 90 minutes, thanks to an unparalleled level of dedication and organization, along with the heroics of Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year, Katie McLaughlin in goal.
Ball on the foot again now. Ballesteros, look out. Ballesteros got into the ball. Fires. Katie McLaughlin, what a save! Reaches out and catches that at the edge of the 6-yard box. She is going to take the long throw into the 18. Headed, glancing, deflected, and out comes McLaughlin. She decks her own player coming out to grab it, but I don't think Zoe Raymer is going to terribly
The Vikings had Cerritos in tears of frustration after 90 minutes, and even though the Falcons would eventually win the title with a pair of goals in extra time, DVC showed unequivocally that they belonged with the state's elite soccer powers in 2016. And the postseason honors speak for themselves. Katie McLaughlin led the way as National JUCO Player of the Year in her division, while also earning academic All-State honors alongside teammate and study buddy Hannah Lewis. The Vikings also put freshman captain Megan Malera onto the All-Big 8 squad, Conference Offensive Player of the Year Noelle Lemus-Palmer onto the All-NorCal First Team, and Defensive Rock Dej Dargan onto the All-NorCal First Team and the All-Western Region Second Team. And they would see attacking wizard Vanessa Rubalcaba named a First Team All-American. And of course, for presiding over all of that greatness, head coach Colleen Mullins and assistant coach Alex Lavin were awarded National Coach and Assistant Coach of the Year honors by the NSCAA. Truly a one-of-a-kind season for a one-of-a-kind program. 2016 Vikings women's soccer, Big 8 champions, state finalists, and 2022 inductees into the DVC Athletics Hall of Fame.